Hello everyone, welcome to C Programming Language. If you like this video, please share it and subscribe it. In this video, we are going to see some basic programs. So few programs I will explain here and few programs I will give you as a assignment. If you do this assignment, you will get some perfection on these basic concepts. In the next video, I will explain the assignment programs very clearly and try to do these assignment programs. Let's start with our programs. The first one, write a program to display the following output. It has to display welcome to C 3 times. And welcome to C is a statement that should be displayed on new line. That should be displayed on new line. So let me open Dev C++. Let's type the program. So it would be better to write the comment of a programs. Okay, it would be better to write the comment of a programs. Okay, let me write the comment of a program. So let me use multi-line comment. Comments are the statements that cannot be that cannot be compiled by the compilers. That won't be compiled by the compilers. Okay, it will give some description regarding why we are writing the program. So here we are writing a program to display the welcome to C 3 times. Okay, next one. The next statement will be the hash include less than stdio.h. Let me explain this thing. This hash is called as, this is the hash. This hash is called as preprocessor. Hash preprocessor. Okay, so this include is called as a directive. Okay, include is a directive. This is hash is a preprocessor, include is a directive. Is a directive. Let me explain the meaning of this statement. Let me keep these things also in the comment. Multi-line comment. Okay, in C we have two types of comments. The first one is single line comment. The second one is multi-line comment. Okay, so if you want to use a single line comment, at that time each and every line should be preceded with the slashes, 2 slashes. Okay, so I kept this hash preprocessor in the comment, and if I want to add the comment to the next line, again I have to write 2 slashes. Okay, so if you want to use a single line comment, each and every line should be preceded with the 2 slashes. Okay, but if I want to use a multi-line comment should be start with slash followed by the star. Okay, the first statement should be preceded with, slash star, and it should be end with star slash. This is the multi-line comment. Depending on the requirement, we will be using either the single line comment or multi-line comment. If you want to write only a single line, if you want to write a comment for only the single statement, at that time we will be using the single line comment. If you want to write the comment from the comment for multiple lines, then we will be using the multi-line comment. Let's come to the meaning of this thing. Include is a directive that tells the preprocessor. Okay, it tells the preprocessor. What it will tell? It will tell that stdio.h is a file. Okay, stdio.h is a file which stands for standard. I stands for input, O stands for output, H stands for header file. Okay, please include this stdio.h into the present file, so that it can use the functions that are presented in the stdio.h. So what are the functions that are presented in the stdio.h? It contains so many functions such as printf function, scanf function, okay, scanf function, getch function, and so many functions are there. So if we include this header file, we can use the printf, scanf, getch, and so many functions. Maybe now you can get the doubt that what is the need of enclosing this stdio.h within the curly braces, within the angular bracket. Okay, so this angular bracket indicates that it is a system file. Okay, it is a system file. It will be found in a directory called as system directory. So when we run this program, what happens? This include directory tells the preprocessor to bring or include this stdio.h into this current file. From which directory it will search it? It will search from the system directory. Okay, in a system directory it will search it, and it will include this stdio.h into the current file, so that we can use the printf, scanf and remaining functions. Okay, after including the header files, we have to write the function. Which function we have to write? We have to write the main function. Okay, the return type of a main function is integer. That means this function has to return the integer value. We know that the execution of a program begins from the main function onwards, whether it is a C or C++ or Java. Okay, now it should be main is main and opening and closing of parenthesis. Next, opening of this curly brace indicates that the main function has started. Main function has started. The closing of this one, closing of this curly brace indicates that the function has closed. Before closing the function, we have to return the integer value called as 0. Why? Because the return type of this main function is integer. Regarding this, we will be discussing very detailedly in a concept called as functions. Concept called as functions. Now let me write a printf statement. So what I want to display? I want to display a message that welcome to C. Okay, welcome to C. Okay, so now I typed the program. Let me save it, compile and run it. So how many times it is displaying welcome to C? Only once. But what is my program requirement? This welcome to C should be displayed 3 times. Welcome to C should be displayed 3 times. So let me copy and paste this program 3 times. Now whenever we make any changes to the program, we have to save it and we have to recompile and we have to rerun it. So I compiled here. It is not showing any compilation error. It is not showing any compilation error. Let me run this program. See here, it is displaying welcome to C 3 times, but this welcome to C is displaying a single line. But what is our requirement? Welcome to C should be displayed in the every line, in every separate line. So we have to use /n, which stands for new line, which stands for new line. So let me add it here. Here also /n. Save it, compile and run it. Now you can observe here, welcome to C is displayed in the separate lines. Okay, so this /n is called as null escape character. Okay, it is a new line. What it will do? It will bring the cursor to the next line. That means first welcome to C will be displayed. After that, whenever it encounters /n, it brings the controller to the next line. That's why this welcome to C is displayed in the second line. Here also same thing, /n, it brings the cursor to the next line and welcome to C is displayed. Okay, this is the program. I hope that the program is clear. Right, let's move to the second program. Write a program to find addition of 2 numbers. Okay, write a program to find addition of 2 numbers. Let me modify the same program. Let me modify the same program. Right. Write a program to find addition of 2 numbers without using scanf. What is the scanf? Scanf is a function. Without using the scanf, I want to write this program. Okay, so to find addition of 2 numbers, how many numbers we require? How many input numbers we require? We require the 2 input numbers. To store these 2 input numbers, how many variables we require? We require the 2 variables. Okay, let me take int data type. Okay, so what is the syntax to declare the variables? Data type followed by variable name. Remember one point, before using the variables, we have to declare it. Int followed by the variable name. Okay, when always it would be better to give the meaningful variable names. Okay, so when interviewer asks us to write any program, they also remember that always try to use the meaningful variable names. Okay, so let me use a variable name called as first underscore number. First underscore number. This is a first variable which is used to store the first number. Next one is second underscore number. If you use such type of variable names, interviewer can understand that we know the subjects very clearly, and they can understand that uh, um, they can understand that how good we are in the giving the naming conventions to the variable names. So int first number comma second number comma, let me use another variable called as sum to store the result. Okay, now here I declare the variables. So while declaring the variables, directly we can assign the values. Let me assign 10 to the first number variable and 20 to second number variable. Now first number value equal to 10 and second number value equal to 20. Now so next, sum equals to, what I want to do, I want to find the sum of two numbers. So the first number is stored inside the which variable? First number. So let me use first number plus next variable name is second underscore number. Okay, next what we want to do it, we want to print that some value. Okay, so already I say that whenever we are trying to display any variable value, we have to specify which type of variable value we are displaying on the console. Now we are going to display the sum value. So sum is a variable of which data type? Integer data type. So which specify which access format we have to use to display the integer, either %d or %i we can use it. So here I am using %d and variable name is sum, and let me terminate the statement with the semicolon. Save this program, compile and run it. So how much is the result? The result is 30. But if you give the result as 30, the user cannot understand that what we are going to display it, whether it is a sum value, a difference value, product value, whether it is a quotient or remainder. So let me give the clear information to the user that what we are displaying, sum is equals to %d. So whatever the text we enclosed within the double code will be printed as it is. So what is the expected output? Sum is equals to 30, we will get it. So save, compile and run it. So sum is equals to 30. Now let me make some changes. Now, so if we, whenever I run this program, we will get the output as sum equal to 30, sum equal to 30, sum equal to 30 only. But I want to change the input values. Now let me give the input value as 5 and second value is 4. So whenever we changes the values of the variables, what we have to do, again we have to save it, compile it and run it. Okay, now sum equals to 9. Again, if I want to change the value, what I want to do it, make the changes. Again, what we have to do, we have to save it and we have to compile it and we have to run it. So here I want to tell you that whenever we are changing the values of the variables, at that time, every time we have to save it, compile it and run it. So which will be the burden to the programmer, isn't it? So to avoid that thing, it would be better to use a scanf. So scanf is a function which is used to read the input from the user. Right? Now let me do this program. Okay, let's make it as a third one. Write a program to find addition of two numbers by using scanf function. Okay, let me make some changes to this program. So here we are not assigning any values to the variables, just we are declaring the variables. After declaring the variables, what we are doing, we are asking the user to enter the two numbers. Okay, let me write printf enter two numbers. Okay, next I want to bring the cursor to the next line, that's why I'm using the slash n. Okay, now how many numbers we want to read from the user? Two numbers. So which function we have to use it? Scanf function. Now tell me which type of values we are reading. We are reading the integer values. So in scanf we have to specify which type of values we are reading, whether we are reading the integer values, char values, float values, or double values. In this example, we are reading what type of values we are reading. We are reading the integer values. So let me use %d, %d. Okay. So the first value, where that first value should be stored? The first value should be stored inside the address of first number variable. First number variable. So scanf modulation d ampersand of first number. So whatever the number we will enter through the keyboard, that number will be stored inside the first number. Okay. Regarding this address operator, we will be discussing in the pointer concept. Comma. The second input value should be stored inside the address of second underscore number. Okay. Right. The remaining thing is as usual. So sum equal to first number plus second number, print sum equal to modulation d sum. Save it, compile it, and run it. See here, it is asking the user to enter the two numbers. Let me enter the first number as 4 and second number as 2. Okay. So how much, what is the result it is giving? Sum equals to 6. Let me run this program once again. Say enter two numbers. Okay, this time let me give another number 15. Enter the two numbers. First number I entered. So where this first number is going to store? This first number will be stored inside the first number variable. Now first number equal to how much? First number is equals to 15. Now let me enter the second number. Second number is 5. So this 5 will be stored inside a variable, inside the variable called as second number. Remember, first number equal to 15 and first number equal to 15 and second number equal to 5. So when I click this enter, what happens? It is giving the result that sum equals to 20. So let me explain this program more clearly. So when I run this program, what happens? The execution of a program begins from main method onwards. So when it comes to the line number 7, what happens? It will allocate the memory space to all the variables. So as I covered in the previous video, let's assume that this is a RAM. Okay, the variables will be stored inside the RAM. RAM stands for the random access memory. Okay, which is a temporary memory. Now controller is executing line number 7. Int first underscore number, second number, and sum. So it will allocate the memory space to the first number, second number, and sum. Okay. Now which data, this variable belongs to which data type? Int data type. So int requires how many bytes of memory? 2 bytes of memory. Int requires the 2 bytes of memory. Okay. So let's say this variable name, this is the first number variable, and this is the second number variable, and the third one is sum. In the short form I am writing. So this is the first number, and this is the second number, and this is the sum variable. Okay. So next, so it will execute this statement, that is printf enter the two numbers. Okay, let me run this program. So it is asking the user to enter the two numbers. Okay, let me enter the 4. So where, in which variable the 4 is going to store? The 4 will be stored inside a variable called as first number. So let me show you the memory representation. So this 4 will be stored inside the first number variable. So it is stored here. Let's come to the execution. Let me enter the variable 2. So this 2 will be stored. Where this 2 will be stored? This 2 will be stored inside the second variable called as second number. So in the memory representation, let me write 2 here. Okay. Next, which statement will be executed? First number. How much is the first number? First number plus second number. How much is the first number value? The first number is 4 plus 2. How much is the result? 4 plus 2 is 6. So where this 6 is going to store? 6 will be stored inside the sum. Remember one point. Whenever the controller contains this assignment operator, this is called as assignment operator. At that time, it will execute the statement that is at the right hand side of the assignment. That's why it has calculated 4 plus 2, 6. that result is stored inside a variable called as sum. Okay, now this sum value is 6. Now sum value equal to 6. Printf sum equals to, so it will be displayed as it is on a console. Sum is equals to percentage is specified that what type of variable value we are displaying. So which type of variable value we are displaying? Integer value of sum. How much is the sum value? Sum equals to 6. So 6 is displayed on the console. 6 is displayed on the console. Right. Next. Let's move to the next program. The third one also completed. Next one. This is the assignment. Let me clearly mention as it is an assignment. Let me give the hint for the assignment also. Okay. Write a program to display the following output. Okay. So it has to display one horizontal line like this. Welcome to C should be displayed. Okay. Let me give the hint for this. Let me remove the comment. So here, let me explain how to draw the horizontal line and vertical line. According to that, you have to develop the code for the fourth program. Okay. Printf, what I want to draw? I want to draw the horizontal line. Okay. Slash n. So what it will display? Horizontal line. I want to display the vertical line. Okay. So this one. Afterwards, I want to bring the cursor to the new line. Slash n, pipe symbol, slash n, pipe symbol, slash n, and this is the pipe symbol. Okay, so this pipe symbol is available above the enter key. Remember, this is called as a pipe symbol which is available above the enter key. Now let me save it, compile it, and run it. See here, horizontal line has drawn and vertical line has drawn. So with this, you can write the program for the fourth one. Let's move to the fifth one. Write a program to display the name called as Raj. That Raj should be displayed by using the stars. So when you run this program, the output should be in this format. R-A-J. These R-A-J letters are consisting of the stars. Next one. Sixth one. Write a program to print house diagram. So when I run the program, it has to display such type of output. Next, write a program that displays your name and address on the screen as it were a letter. So on letter, how it will be? It will be like this. So write a program to display the output like this. Horizontal line plus symbol, horizontal line plus symbol, pipe symbols, and some hashes. And at the right side bottom of the page letter, you have to write your name. I have written my name and some address we have to write it. Next one. Eighth one. Write a program to print following output. In MySQL database, if we display stars, select a star from employee, it will display the two columns, employee ID and employee name. If we create the table, okay, if we create the table, then only it will display it. So when you run this program, when you run your program, it has to display such type of output. Okay, some horizontal line, column name is EID, column name is ename, some employee IDs and employee names such as Raju, Rani, something should be displayed. Next one, ninth program. Write a program to print these three symbols: tree symbol, music symbol, and triangle symbol. The last one. Write a program to shut down or turn off your computer. So take all these programs as a assignment. In the next video, I will explain the assignment programs. I hope you like this video. Please share it and subscribe it. Thank you. Thank you very much.